Okay, we're gonna get these broken down here. Gotta pop these old seals off. I'm hoping the seals I got will work. Because of course, you know, the internet and all that fun stuff. This is where buying stuff downtown is nice. These are very old looking boxes. I think I showed this in a other video earlier on, but these are not the same. So I'm hoping they fit in there. They just don't have the flange. These have a flange on them. So I think if I just set these in flush, as long as the diameter is correct, these will work. But they're old, so hopefully they last. I don't know. Wasn't real happy when they showed up and they were the wrong ones, because I did make sure the ones I put in my cart were those ones with the flange. That's not what I got. So anyways, we'll work around that. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see, I'm gonna move the camera over here and readjust this angle up a little bit. So I'm gonna I think I'm just gonna clamp the drum in here. So I can just get down in here, get the hammer and chisel. Yeah. See if we can just maybe I'll try. This is way bigger than I need. We'll go ahead and try this, see if it'll come out. At least it'll, yeah, it doesn't want to come out. Oh, that actually worked. Cool, I don't have to beat on anything. Okay, so these bearings in this hub specifically are like tar. The grease is super sticky, so we're gonna go soak these ones. Like, they're stuck to my finger. I'm gonna go throw these in a coffee can of solvent. And let those soak for a minute while I get the other ones out. Let's see if I can clean this out. I might have to throw this in the parts washer too. Let's see if it'll wipe out. Probably won't, because it's so sticky. And some of it's coming out. Maybe it's just that front bearing that's really bad. This stuff's pretty petrified. Very dark. I'd rather not put this whole thing in the parts washer, because it's not like it's that dirty. I just need to get this old grease out. That way I can put new stuff in there. And I'm being very careful doing this, because sometimes there's sharp edges inside these little hub sockets. Or inside this hub assembly flange. So I'm paying attention, going slow with my fingers, so if anything catches it, I don't just rip my finger open. But this one feels pretty smooth. So we've got the bulk of the grease out of there. Oh yeah, that other side's like glue. It's so weird. This back side's sticky more than it should be, but not. It's not like the other side where it's just like solid. Go ahead and wipe this bearing. Get the bearing race in here, so I'm just trying to wipe off all the old stuff out of here, and then we'll be able to repack the bearing, and I'll put a little bit of a wipe of new stuff in there, and it'll be good to go. Now the other side, I think I might have to take a little propane torch to the other side, because this stuff's like glue. It's, I don't know what happened to it, but The other hub will be easy to clean up. It's not. The glue's not, or glue. the grease is not turned into glue like this side. So what a sticky mess. Let's see if we can heat this up with propane. Got my little propane torch here. All this stuff's just like burning. Starting to do something. See if it'll let me wipe it out. Yeah. It's kind of coming out now. Super sticky. It's like turning into plastic or something. Wow. I'm sure somebody probably would think this is bad for the bearing race, but as long as they don't heat it up glowing red, it'll be fine. Putting a little bit of heat on it, it's not going to do anything. That's actually a process you do sometimes to get them to go into things. If you need them to come out or need them to shrink, get them to, well, heating it won't shrink it. Expands things, but I've worked in an electric motor shop. I worked there for several years, and we did all kinds of stuff with bearings that you would think wouldn't be good for them, but bearings are actually pretty tough. So they have to be, because that's what they take all the punishment of rolling the weight of your car around. So this stuff is it's like glue. It's crazy. Grab this old broken screwdriver to scrape here. Just a little bit left in there that wasn't wanting to come out. Okay, that one was the difficult one. Go ahead and put this hammer. Well, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna put that back together. Real quick, since we've already got this cleaned up, let's go ahead and see if that. See how that new hub seal kind of sits in here. I don't know. Man, it feels like it's not the right size. It feels like it's too, just a little bit on the big side. Wipe off this old seal here. Well, and it seems like it's the same diameter, so we'll get the bearings all greased up and ready to go, and we'll go ahead and try to pound these in there. Okay. Pop this guy out of here like we did the other one. Just give it a little Well, that worked on the other one, so there it goes. Yeah, this grease is looking a little rougher on the inside bearing than it was the outside. It's pretty sticky too, so I'll go ahead and go drop these in the bucket of solvent to help them start to break down. And wipe this hub out real quick and we'll get over to the parts washer and we'll get those bearings washed out. I'll throw gloves on for that. Oh man, this one's all petrified too. It's just petrified on the back side. The grease on the front side is okay, and this one still at the back side's gotten all hard. So these have like never been done, or they were done a long time ago. Man, that's a bummer. And it had that red grease in it, that red and tacky or whatever. So I'm gonna put graphite wheel bearing grease in because that graphite helps give an extra lubricant surface. It just helps make things roll and lubricate better. I feel like I've had really good results with it. And that's what I was taught to use by the old timers that I've been around, is to get that graphite infused grease. Man, this stuff is hard. I thought the other one was a mess, but this one being the back bearing is making it extra fun. There's just more in there. Wow. That's crazy. It's turning into a mess. My rag is really getting really full of junk here. I think you could just go ahead and put new grease in here and not worry about all this stuff in the middle, but the problem is if this stuff in the middle gets warm enough that it kind of melts and gets into your new grease, you're just going to have all this chunky old nasty stuff getting into your new grease, and that could potentially cause problems down the road, because this is obviously past being grease. It's turned back into like a dinosaur fossil or something. I don't know what it is, but it is gnarly hard. Okay, well, now here. I thought this was going to be the better one. Go ahead and torch this tub down a little bit and see if that'll get the torch in there, heat it up, see if that'll get rid of the rest of it. And then this is taking a little longer than I thought. I'm gonna have to go do some other stuff, and I'll have to come back in a little while. So I'll probably make another video about cleaning and packing the bearings and getting these hubs back on. So we'll finish this up, and then we'll have to stop for a minute for a little bit. All right. And that smells lovely. Well, it does help to heat it up with the torch a little bit. Helps a little bit, makes it a little bit softer. Some of that was just rock hard. Man, stuff is in there. Okay. That's looking pretty good. I think we'll go ahead and I'll just wipe it down really good with the rag, and it should be good enough. It's not perfect by any means. I mean, there's still some residue in there. I could definitely probably get after it with the torch for a while and really burn all this stuff out of here, but I think the rest of it's pretty hard. It's not going anywhere. There's not really much left in there, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. Just get this cleaned up nice. Okay, flip it over here and do the other side. Get it wiped out, and then I gotta go do something else, and we'll come back to this later. Okay. look in there real good. See if we got any. Just trying to make sure we don't got any flakes or chunks of stuff floating around in there. Do a good wipe in the middle of the hub. Still getting some junk out of it, so I'll just keep wiping it around. Get all of it out that I can. Okay, we'll find a wipe on the bearing race. There we go. A little bit more on this other one I can touch up on here. What a pain in the butt that was. Normally it's a lot easier to clean up grease out of the old hub grease out, you know, get it all cleaned out to get it ready for new grease and stuff. This one was an exception apparently. So I'll show you here on this one here. So that this shiny part right here on the inside, it's got a taper on it, and that's what the bearing rolls on. That's the bearing race, which I see there's still some stuff in this one. And you know, you just want it to be clean. And they appear to be good. I figured they wouldn't be terrible shape because this cart has been somewhat decently taken care of, and there isn't like a gazillion miles on it. And it probably is a lot of mileage for an Omni. You know, it's like 150 something thousand miles on it or whatnot. But anyways, I'm gonna adjust this camera real quick and turn this around. So that'll be it for today. I will bring you guys back in later. We'll do another video. I'll be getting the bearings packed, or clean them out, get all the old grease out. I gotta let them soak for a little bit, and I got something I gotta go do anyways, so I don't really have time to sit here and try to make the grease come out of them. So I'll come back in later and we'll get those bearings cleaned out. We'll get them ready for new grease. I'll pack them. We'll get them put in these hubs and the new seals installed, and we'll get them back on the car and show you that process. And you know, probably not the way a lot of people would say you got to do it, but that's the way I do it. That's the way I've been doing it my whole life. That's the way I was taught by the old time automotive technicians that I've worked with in the past and stuff like that. So works for me, should work for other people. I'm not making these videos to try to teach anybody anything, but if you learn something or you like my ideas or whatever, go ahead and use them at your own risk. I am not a professional, so this is just for fun. This is just to show what's going on, and figure, you know, some people might be interested in watching an Omni get brought back to life. There'll be lots of other vehicles I do as well, but this is what we're working on right now, and that'll do it for today. So we'll see you guys later.